My partner was a tool and die maker for Ford Motor Company. She made a very good living providing for her family as a single mom. And I am shocked to think that anybody would devalue the work, the highly skilled work that takes 3 to 5 years of apprenticeship training, that they would turn around and devalue that work down to $17 an hour, which, as you all gave us the numbers, what you think a middle-class income wage is, that works out to just over $34,000 a year.
Read the question, brother.
I didn't hear the bell.
You don't get it.
So, what is your position, and what will you do to improve and increase skilled trades jobs in Oxford County and in Canada?
And who are you directing that to, brother? First.
Melody, since she got left on that.
Thank you. I wish I had more information on that. I understand that that is very frustrating. It's sad to see how that has changed over the years. Certainly it needs to be brought to the table of discussion. We've even seen that, I think I've heard at the airport, that it's a lot lower wages are being given instead of the higher ones, so it seems to be a bit of a trend these days. And yes, when people have been skilled and they're trained, they should be paid for what they're able to do at fair market value. I'm not sure of our platform, but that's something that we would strongly take into consideration. On a personal level, it's upsetting.
Thank you. Don?
Great question. The law of supply and demand should take care of a lot of these issues. But in a tough economy, if you need a job and it's paying $17 an hour, that's better than nothing. But that's not where our future lies, and we need to be able to address that. So that takes us back to some of the job creation and attraction of investment to be able to bring better jobs to that. And I can certainly attest to my involvement in pursuing on the green energy side, while the jobs that are there now, where are the future potential ones? And one of those is in creating energy and the storage of that energy. So while we're pursuing those, we need to keep in mind that we don't want just better than minimum wage, but still not a living wage for those workers that we're trying to attract here.
Thanks, Mike.
The wrong reality of it is it's supply and demand. The way to get that wage up from $17 an hour is to have so many jobs out there that if they want to keep you, they have to go back to $25 an hour or $35 an hour. Now, I think what would take that, especially we have an opportunity in the green energy field to start production, and if, say, the policy was to have solar panels, a credit for people to put solar panels on every house, you imagine the manufacturing jobs that would be created. So really the answer is just simply we have to have more jobs available that companies, if they want you to work for them, they have to pay for. So whatever job strategy to create more jobs is the solution.
Thank you. Zoe?
Thank you. I don't know if it's just me, but I've seen a direct correlation between the increased number of trade deals that our country has been entered into with the opposite decrease in our wages. We will secure livable wages in this country when we enter into trade deals with other countries that guarantee the same, and when corporations have an option to go from high-paying, high-skilled jobs that protect the environment and build for a better future, to go to countries that have no worker protections, no environmental protections. It puts downward pressure on us by being able to have the Made in Canada strategy, by improving the green energy sector. This is how domestically we can start raising the wage, but at the end of the day, we need a government that's willing to stand up for Canadians and enter into fair trade deals to bring up the standards not only at home, but around the world.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next question. And who it's directed towards?
Anybody with Melanie?
Who wants to be? Okay, refugee. I understand our government's going to match dollar for dollar. How many people do we bring into our country? What can we afford? Have you ever talked to your parties about this? I know it's brand new, we have this crisis has just come about, but we as Canadians have to do something. To whoever.
Without a doubt, what's happening federally has just almost been a disgrace to Canada and a disservice to the rest of the world. And what I feel we need to do as a Canadian, I think to make the process as easy as possible for any group, church, club who wants to bring a family from Syria that are in such desperate need, then it's up to the federal government to make it so that can happen. Security is an issue, but it's one I don't totally understand. I think if you're a terrorist, you could go to Saudi Arabia and fly first class into Canada. You don't have to go through that process. So I know there's a fear for jobs, there's a fear for having to give up some of what we have, but as Canadians, we've always stepped up to the plate and said when somebody's desperate, we pitch in and help. Like 100 years ago, there was a potato famine, and my great-great-grandfather came because of that. And then after the Second World War, there was the British, the Polish, the Dutch, and so many other immigrants have been welcomed to this country. So I think we owe to our history and to what we are as Canadians to open the doors and to bring as many as we can quickly, and to provide the services for them when they're here.
Thank you. Zoe?
Thank you. It is a truly Canadian thing to open our arms, our aid, and our hospitality to those in need. And to be perfectly honest, this is the one question that has been coming up across this county and doors that I'm knocking on. And the consensus is we need to bring people in. But the concern for people, as Mike alluded to, is the fear that Harper has put into us as Canadians, that every child and every woman is a terrorist. We have an immigration system, we have protocols, we have checks, we have balances. And I think, to be perfectly honest, our municipalities in this country have shown more leadership and more commitment than the Harper government has in bringing in these people that are living in a desperate situation for no other reason than countries like Canada were not there with peacekeeping, and that we were not there with aid when the people of Syria started screaming for help over 6 years ago.
Thank you. Melody?
Again, this is a very critical issue, and I think we're all concerned about it. And CHP, we do have some guidelines here. For the refugees, as Christians, we do feel compassion towards all who are suffering, and where possible, we should assist them. However, as a nation, our first obligation is to our own children and grandchildren. So we do believe that, yes, in screening the refugees, which we would intend to take in as best we can, true refugees, especially women and children, deserve our compassion, but we cannot take in every person on earth who is in distress. A large portion of the refugees are military-aged young men, and some of them may pose a threat to Canadian security. We do not want what they are running away from, and we would help refugees in the camps where they are now, food, clean water, and blankets, etc. We also should remember that Canadians turn back 100,000 preborn refugees every year. In fact, we kill them before they are born.
Thank you. Don?
Good question on the refugees. This question came up in the Woodstock debate, and it was interesting because it was raised by a refugee from Vietnam that came under the Pierre Trudeau era, and what a great place this country has been to him, and his concern was, are we committed to continue with open arms to invite and embrace and provide people with the opportunity to settle here. On the local front, as a county councillor, I've been involved with our local immigration partnership, LIP Services, And it's been terrific to see what locally we can do, not just to bring them, but to ensure they're settled. Now, it's on the attraction side of things. The refugees obviously is a little different. But we have a place, we have the services, and if I were in Ottawa, I could stand up and say, Oxford's ready and prepared to take some of these refugees.
Thank you. Okay, next question, first directed at anyone besides myself.